points a game. Leading the Jazz, 4th place in the West currently. He has always been one of those guys who highlight film in transition, shoots the three very well. How about CP3? Watch that battle. You talk about Mr. Clutch. When you look him up in the dictionary, it's a picture of him because he is the Mr. Clutch in the NBA, coming off a 3-0 sweep of the East Coast. Big defensive play down to stop. He and Schroeder to close out that game against the Celtics.
Well, the first 2 games between these teams were in Utah. The Thunder in the final 18 will play Utah 2 more times, and both of those will be here in Oklahoma City. So you see the officials conferring here prior to the start of this game. A late conference here, trying to get something worked out. Chris Paul went in, poked his head in to try to get a little more information.
You know, when you talk about the Jazz, you got to talk about, you know, how do you stop him? His defense on Mitchell is going to be really important tonight, Chris Paul. And then being able, now they don't have the services of Rudy Gobert. How does that change? Well, he's the #1 guy in the NBA at screen assists, you know, situations where he sets a screen and he's getting assists because he set the screen and somebody scored. Now that guy's not here tonight, Rudy Gobert. He's out with an illness, so that changes the dynamics for the Jazz. Now, if you're the Thunder, you're saying, all right, well, you know what, we can attack that paint now. Because, you know, Gobert, he's what, back-to-back defensive player of the year, and that's going to be pretty special in itself, not having him on the floor.
So no Rudy Gobert, but the Thunder will get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander back. So Gobert is out. You see both head coaches now talking with the officials, Quinn Snyder and Billy Donovan. We don't know what they're talking about. And until we do, we can't report anything. But clearly the officials talking with both head coaches. Players went through starting lineups, went through warm-ups, were prepared to take the court, but clearly a conversation going on here between the officials and both head coaches. Mike, we've been ready.
Well, we're ready.
We've been ready for a couple days for this one.
3-0 sweep. Good momentum here. Nice crowd here tonight, folks. Glad you joined us as well.
Thunder, of course, coming off of that fun road trip, taking down Detroit, New York, and Boston. Had a couple of days off, Monday and Tuesday. Plenty of time to recover to get ready for this big matchup with the Jazz. Obviously, everybody aware that the two teams stacked up in the Western Conference. But still the discussion ongoing here. Ben Taylor, Mark Lindsay, Pat Farrar, the crew chief, talking things over with Billy Donovan and Quinn Snyder. And Michael, we don't know what they're talking about.
No, not at all, but it's nice to see the energy back in the building here. Thunder have been on the road for the last week here, folks. And I thought the hardest part of that road trip, now this is my opinion, was the Detroit game. Second night of a back-to-back, the Clippers, you didn't play a good game against the Clippers, and all of a sudden you got to hit the road and start an East Coast swing in Detroit on the second night of a back-to-back. And we're not really sure here, folks. We're going to get some information for you as soon as we can find out. But clearly, the game right now is a little bit of a delay.
So both head coaches have gone back, and you see the teams heading back to the locker room. The officials now going over to the scores table. And so it appears that we are going to wait for the announcement as the officials are giving it to the PA announcer, Mario Nani, here inside the arena.
Waiting for lead confirmation to start the game.
So there is a long discussion out on the floor with the officials, the head coaches. We still don't know what the discussion was about. So as soon as we hear anything, we will relay that information to you. Crew chief Pat Farrar still on the headset. In all likelihood communicating with the league. Well, Mike, wild times. Starting lineups were announced. Teams went through warm-up. Everybody was ready to go out and take the floor. And then a discussion and a delay here in Oklahoma City, as we will try to get to the bottom of what exactly is taking place.
So I know you just sat down, but right now you might want to stand up.
The officials now appear to be clearing the floor after having a discussion with the headset on. And we still await an explanation. I mean, Mike, this is something that we just continue to try to wait for to get information. But both teams have gone back to the locker room. Utah's no longer on the floor. The Thunder are no longer on its bench. The officials have gone back to the locker room. The fans here in the arena don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. And so as soon as we get any kind of information, we will certainly pass it along. But we apologize for the delay.